Okay, last factor for today is actually socio-cultural environment. Now, this basically refers to the social environment where the country is. Okay. Now, migrants are attracted to Singapore for its actually stable social environment. There's really any violence. People are friendly here. We don't easily cause trouble. Brilliant services, etc. But it boils down to mainly three things. One is Singapore has a safe environment. The fact that there's community support for ethnic groups who actually migrate here, as well as our education system, which is reputed to be one of the world's best. Okay, so we'll look at these things. Alright, but you have to understand that these three things are, just remember we started the chapter, we talked about push and pull factors. These three things are one of the strongest pull factors ever to migrants. Okay, so they come here because we have these things. The first one is community support, and for this I need you guys to refer to page, where's the page? Right, 148 all the way until 151. Okay, now when migrants come to the country, at first, of course, if they're just fresh migrants from another country, there's nobody here from that particular country. There might not be support groups here to help them assimilate and integrate into Singaporean society. But over time, as soon as more and more migrants come into Singapore, we find that there's more of these support groups. So an example of that is the Australia New Zealand Association Action Group, which actually helps people who actually migrate from the country of Australia. There's of course the Myanmar Club, shown on page 148, as well as the Singapore Contractors Association Limited Recreation Centre, which caters to foreign workers playing street soccer also, or having recreation stuff. Alright, so these support groups help the migrant communities integrate, as well as, if they have any issues or what, they need someone familiar with their culture, their language, and their needs. They have at least have a support circle. Then also there's ethnic groups which have built sort of what they call enclaves. That's spelled enclaves, ENCLAVES, enclaves here in Singapore. Pretty interesting. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know the Filipino one. Filipinos at Far East Plaza. You go drop by there, you'll find plenty of services as well as food stuff that's really little Philippines, you can call it that. Okay, Golden Mile Complex, the example there they give you for Little Thailand. If you ever go to Golden Mile Complex, you can find Thai stuff there. The Thai nationals send money to the families via remittance centers over there. The Japanese community also have their own enclave here, mainly focused in Liang Court and Clarke Quay. Okay, where they have food, Japanese food catered to the tastes, all Japanese. The Korean community centered around the Bukit Timah area. If you ever drop by Bukit Timah, you can find quite a few Korean barbecues there. Actually, I think about 2 or 3. Okay, so if you have the time to go look about. There's a Korean community here that has added diversity. I'm pretty sure. Okay, one community that's not shown here is the Burmese community. Where can you wait? Cambodia or Burmese? I think it's a Cambodia or Burmese. Confirm for you guys later. But you can find them in Peninsula Plaza. Their food, services there is catered to them. Alright, so these enclaves do exist as a form of community support for these migrant groups, and it's quite an attractive proposition. You come here, you find out that hey, you have these support, these facilities ready for you guys to make yourself feel at home. It's quite appealing. Second, why do migrants want to come here? Singapore is a pretty safe country, safe environment. Crime rates are low. Of course, the catchphrase is what? Low crime doesn't mean no crime. But I mean, you can safely go out at, right now my clock showing 11 p.m. because if you go out now and you don't have to worry about getting robbed, well, most of the time you still have to, of course, take care of your stuff lah. But it's an unlikely occurrence that you get robbed or hurt after midnight. It's quite safe, unlike other countries around the world. So this element of safety that and this assurance actually encourage migrants to actually come over and work here. It makes it a pleasant place to work. Alright, but of course there are now different places where crimes take place. So in class, I like you all to think about if you don't see crimes in in real life, you see crimes online. What's the issue there? And knowing that we are living in a connected world, is it entirely relevant that a place like Singapore, is safe, but we can still have crime occurring overseas? So think about that. Also, as with the big thing about terrorism, we do have quite it's quite wide ranging. So it's an international thing. So is Singapore still an attractive place despite the threat of terrorism? Something to think about. Last point is Singapore's education system, and many migrants do come here for quality education. We have lots of scholars from China who come down to NUS to actually earn their education, and all universities in Singapore actually encourage the student exchanges with foreign students coming in. I remember during my NUS days when I was studying Malay studies, quite a few Caucasian people were actually studying Malay studies. It's quite amazing. It's to me lah, right? But why do they want to come here? I mean, you look at the recent PISA results. Okay, Singapore's education system has been identified as delivering quality education for us Singaporeans as well as the children of migrants. So they come here to ensure that they can have access to quality education for themselves and their children. Now these add to the diversity of people you can find in Singapore. Our education system is well recognized for its high standards and effectiveness as shown by the PISA. I'll add the link in the description, you can look there. And our tertiary institutes are popular with international students, offering a wide range of subjects for them to develop and learn. Okay, so conclusion time. Immigration policy, economic policies, economic opportunities, and socio-cultural environment have made Singapore a choice destination. This has increased diversity that comes from sharing of ideas, cultures, and experiences. And you have to say that these three things actually do contribute to increasing the amount of diversity, or making sure that we have a nice mix of people. I mean, in the past, when I was growing up, all I have to worry was CMIO, Chinese, Malay, Indian, and others is exactly a nice term, but other people who are of different categories. Now, as an adult, I see that I face people who are of different races, different religions. I face Burmese, you have Burmese friend in your class. I face Filipinos, Caucasians, Africans, people who come from the continent of Africa, people who come from China. So there's a rich mix of diversity here as a result of all these things. Okay, so what do you think? You guys have any experience, and do you think this experience will still go on? I mean, things can't always go up. If let's say, I'm just going to throw this bone to you. If let's say Singapore does not have the economic opportunities it has, you think we can still be a destination for migrants? What do you guys think? Okay, let me know in the comments below, or you can just sum it up in the Google Docs that I'll send the link to you via WhatsApp. Alright, so cheers, good night, sleep tight, and please study hard for your levels, people. Peace.